The superintendent's update. Dr. Little, you're on before 8 o'clock.
That's very nice. Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll continue to move this along, but I do have some important things tonight I want to share with the board. First of all, I want to let the board and our community know that our COVID numbers continue to decline. This Monday, we had a year low of 52 active positive cases Monday morning. That number, again, is down from, I think, 711 or 713, which was our peak. So the numbers are gradually declining. What we see is every week the numbers, they'll start lower in the morning, they'll add in the afternoon, but then kind of the next day we lose that gain and sometimes a little bit more. And then it kind of goes that way throughout the week. We get to Friday and Saturday, then we lose, then there's a bounce down, and then there's a correction Monday morning, and it starts the same process over again. We kind of had there was a last week, I think we started out with 82 and we had 82 the week before, but that was really an anomaly. The numbers have continued to trend down even as last week moved forward, and certainly then Monday morning. So that's tremendous news. The other great news that we have is that our community spread numbers are dropping as well. We've been tracking that very closely. I thank Mr. Caldwell and his team. Those numbers seem to drop, I don't know, 3 to 5% sometimes during the course of a day. Now, 3 to 5% may not sound like a lot, but when you add that up over the course of, 7 to 10 days or 2 weeks, that's really starting to chop into community spread. I think today's community spread, and I didn't put it in my notes today, was 345. So that is, remember, 200, anything below 200 is moderate spread. So we are very, very close to moderate spread. We're getting there. And I think we peaked out somewhere about 1,700 is where the community spread was. So the fact that it's all the way back down. So that's fantastic news. I'm always going to celebrate that because moderate spread, we believe, continues to be right around the corner. It's a little slower than what we were hoping it would be here. We were kind of hoping it would already be here, but I'm not going to complain about continuous progress because really at this point we have no reason to believe it'll stop at 200. It's going to continue to drop. So that's fantastic news. As of 3:45 this afternoon, we had 7 schools with 0 positive cases, which was exciting. 23 schools with 2 or fewer cases. Now we're starting to get there. We're starting to turn the corner, which is pretty exciting. We believe, again, the trend will continue. And so really, as a result, we're not going to do a Where We Stand Wednesday this week, because we kind of say we'll do it when we need it. Really, there's been breaking news like happened last week, and the COVID numbers are continuing to decline. So if that continues, we'll consolidate the Where We Stand Wednesdays. I know people will be disappointed about not getting the text message every Wednesday. So, but we'll sometime in the future we'll do another one. We still have currently 16 staff members who are positive, and that's down from our peak of 100 on any given day, like an active of one day. So we have 16 active cases, but really that number is a little misleading because half of those cases are what we would consider COVID long hauls. So we keep them in our count because it's important for us to know where they are, and because their absences are still being felt on their campuses. But we still have 8 people who are out for really long COVID issues. And so what I would say is, while we're going to celebrate the fact that we really only have 8 new positive cases of our staff, I do want you to keep those staff members in your prayers who are still making that trek back and really still having a pretty tough time with just complications and kind of one thing on top of the next. So keep them in your mind, and your thoughts and your prayers. On Thursday, the 21st, we're also pleased to announce continued partnership with Lexington Medical Center. We are hosting a booster clinic for our employees because many of them are now eligible. We've had 400. The last count that I had was 474. So pretty good one-day afternoon. Again, with so many options in the community, they can typically go kind of wherever they want to go. But so it's nice to have that many in one place. We'll do that over a 3-hour time period. So really a truncated afternoon, 4-hour time period at the end of kind of that parent-teacher conference day. No way to celebrate your parent-teacher conference day like having a shot. So of the vaccine. And I didn't realize that clarification. Sorry about that. I realized that as I apologize. I didn't realize that
I
was
like the first.
well, I'm sorry. That's certainly not my intent to say that. But they had, but 474, that threw me off a little bit. I'm sorry. 474 employees that have signed up for that. DHEC made a significant change last week, and it really is a huge help to our families, a huge help to our students. So now if a student is more than 3 feet away and wearing a mask from another positive student, that student is no longer considered a close contact. That is, I mean, when I say it's big news for families and not having students who need to be quarantined and those kinds of things is really awesome. We are seeing a decline in our quarantine numbers. I don't know if it's related to that or if it's just related to overall community spread dropping and the overall numbers dropping, but we are seeing a reduction in our quarantines, which is also good. I'll certainly leave the predictions to the experts, but it appears our immediate future looks rather normal, which is pretty exciting after kind of a year and a half of not normal. Again, I don't want to get into the prediction business when it comes to that, but it does look like the immediate future, at least, is going to look pretty normal. On a more somber note, well, let me add this, and then I want to finish with really a more serious issue tonight. With some of the negativity associated with the recent TikTok challenge, and you can imagine how up I am on TikTok, but with all the negativity associated with that and social media usage, we have a contact at the South Carolina Department of Education named Jim Deal, and he does an incredible presentation about social media awareness for parents and how to best support your kids when it comes to social media. And I think all of us who have children, I don't want to bring everybody in my boat, so let me just say it this way. I know with my children, we've really struggled with the idea of social media. It's caused some real anxiousness, anxiety at our house, and you know the notion that just social media, unfettered social media, is good for kids is really difficult to deal with. So he's going to come and he's going to meet with our parent advisory group about how parents can be more aware of that and how they can support their students. And what we're going to use it as, we're going to use it as a preview for our Parent Advisory Council. The Parent Advisory Council will then go back to their schools and talk to their leadership teams at the schools. I mean, they're like PTOs or whatever it is, and see if that person can come and maybe they'll team up with some other schools and do some presentations with them at a future time. But I do want to invite the board to that. Ms. Halliday will send you that information. We are rescheduling it because he couldn't come on the Monday, so we're going to come on the Thursday. So we'll let you know. So our PAC is going to be there, and then and then they're going to they're going to preview it. If that's something that they're really interested in, then they're going to be able to take it back to their schools.
It'd be interesting if we could tape that to then help disseminate it as well.
Oh, I certainly could do that. Ms. McPhail, if we could talk to Ms. Halliday about that and see if that's okay with him. Maybe we could tape it, or we don't tape it anymore. We record it, I guess, and then do that. So finally, I've left the most serious for last, and I just want to share this with the board and our school community. But today at Carolina Springs Middle School, a young person made a really bad decision, and they came to school with a gun. And I'm addressing the issue tonight in my superintendent report, not because of the scary nature of what it means to bring a weapon to school, but more so because of how proud I am of the young people on that campus, that they recognized that there was a problem, and instead of sitting on the sidelines, instead of picking up their phones to record something, they took action. They walked into the principal's office and they said, there's a problem and we want you to know about it. I also am very thankful tonight for an administrative team and a staff of teachers and everybody else who have created a loving environment and a trusting environment where a young person can feel comfortable, safe, and empowered to make that decision. And so I'm thankful tonight for those students. I'm thankful tonight for the administration. I'm thankful tonight for the staff who have, all of them working in concert to make our schools safe. I do want to reassure the Carolina Springs community and our community at large, and Ms. McPhail is working up a letter that's going to go out to I think everybody tonight. It's going to go out to everybody because we want to make sure everybody hears it, not rumors and innuendo on social media, as we just talked about the importance of social media. But we want to make sure that everybody gets the facts right, because I do want to be clear that so far in our investigation, there's no indication whatsoever that that young person had any intent to harm anybody on that campus. I'll be very clear about that. If that fact changes, we will certainly update people on it, but our investigation so far, again, there's no indication that young person walked on that campus in order to injure anybody. So again, we are grateful for the students. We're grateful for the administration and grateful for the staff out at Carolina Springs Middle School. So that is and again, I apologize for having to end on such a somber note, but I think that was important to talk about and to share. Again, I'm very grateful for all that work. That concludes my report tonight, but I want to make sure, Mr. Warren, you're up next. And
Dr. Little, if I could for just a minute, the TikTok challenge where we were having the damage to the schools,
Yes, sir.
Has that started to subside? How is that looking?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Dr. Clamp do that. So my understanding is, and he's nodding, my understanding is that really towards, as we started having conversations with young people who'd made that mistake, it started to alleviate and eliminate that. Vandalism on school campus, really there's no place for that. There's no place to damage the place that you go to grow and learn. Is, I believe, the ultimate sign of disrespect. And so our administrative teams have worked really hard at that. And I believe even some young people have been charged with that. But it's what we've seen is that has gone away. And to my knowledge, we've seen nobody with the October challenge that was about laying hands on a staff member. We've not seen that at all. And again, I just want to reassure everybody that if that happens, we will be prosecuting that experience to the fullest extent of the law as well. So thank you.